Masonry, Rosicrucian, Astoria, whether it's within, um, the Theosophical Society, the Anthroposophical Society, OTO, all these so-called secret societies, been saying all of this shit forever. And what it is that a lot of these PhDs have gone into these secret societies, and now they're bringing that information out, and they are quantifying it, giving it various names in which that, okay, is known within here as, let's say spirit, but we know that in the dictionary, spirit is nothing more than breath. So now they have to deal with that science. Okay, it's the science of breath. It's not just spirit. The science of breath taps you into what is called spirit, which is the higher realms. What I'm saying, what they call the astral planes, or so forth and so on. So, this is all that's really going on within the Voodoo. You had what is called Damballa. Damballa is the serpent or the snake, and Damballa actually is talking about your Kundalini. But yet Damballa is known within the Haitian or within the Voodoo as that mother goddess principle, that serpentine principle, but within the Vedic, it's known as Kundalini. Within the Catholic Church is known as Mary, the Queen Mother, the Queen of Heaven, Mother of Jesus, the Mother of God, so forth and so on. So they have various names, within the religions. The various names is shown, throughout, even quantum physics. They refer to that mother principle within what they refer to as the science of chemistry, which we know is nothing more than a derivative of alchemy. Which the word chem is part of both, which means black, or talking about melanin. So alchemy is the study of melanin. Chemistry is the study of melanin. And Dr. Drew Pookum said that they've been studying melanin since the 1500s, as far as scientifically, and we know that according to the book, what's the name of it? It's by Peter Moon, one of his Montauk books. It's one of his Montauk books, and he spoke about the fact of how 666. It's nothing more than 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Bobby always spoke about that fact, and of course, they tell us that that's melanin. We know that carbon is the 6th element on the periodical chart. It has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. So everything that they study goes back to melanin, So this is why they are so interested in us. This is what has to do with the flow state, what has to do with being in the zone, is the science of melanin. And we're going to go into more of that, this coming weekend, Sunday.
When a lot of people think of Haiti, they think about Christianity, colonization, everything. A lot of people became Christian. How important is our magic when we infuse it in religions like Christianity or Catholicism? Does our magic retain its potency? Can we still manifest and do certain things within these religions?
Yeah, no doubt about it, because we see that merger within Santeria. Santeria took the Catholic saints, and basically utilized them as the Orishas, So, yes, I think Saint Germain, is Babaluyaye, or so forth and so on. And so, we looking at, they quantifying, utilizing the science of magic by what they had, So for those that's not up on it, oh, okay, oh, they Christians, blah, blah, blah. But when you start seeing them, with their candles and they utilizing candle magic, so from so on. I mean, hell, that's what the Catholics do. You think you go to the Catholic Church and you see all them damn candles that they just burning them. You think you see the altar boys, lighting incense, and it's just no. All of that is magical. They setting the mood, they setting the place right. So that negative energy and spirits, won't be left there. So it's the same thing within Santeria. Santeria is the basically Catholicism and Yoruba. It's the mixture, the merger of those two. And it still works.
Now, when under certain ceremonies, and people get possessed, you see people get possessed.
Right.
That's the same thing. Because they say we're the same people, but we've just been spread out all over the globe. It's when the people get possessed in these ceremonies. That's the same as so-called African Americans catching the Holy Ghost in church. Is that the same type of spirit right there?
Basically, some say the spirit light, light on them, on their shoulders, on their head. I've been to misas in which that the individuals, got possessed by the orishas, or by, some type of spirit or entity. And so, this is the same thing that you see within the Pentecostalist Holiness Church. You hear the music, dum 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 dum, and you getting in the spirit, you hearing the singing. So next thing you know, you catching the Holy Spirit, as they say. So it's the same thing. What you're doing is the same thing. In misas in the church, they beating drums, or you hearing the organ or some type of instrument playing as the invoking take place. So there's always a connection between the music, and the entity, the spirit. So the music, we talking about various frequencies. We know that the 528 frequency is the frequency of love, but that deals with the bass or the drum beat. We know that 418 is the activation, is the frequency in which that helps activate the pineal gland, melanin. We can go on and on with the various frequencies. Each of your organs have a particular frequency, So as these beats are being played, and you talking about various modes, schemes, patterns, rhythms, vibrations, it's tapping into all your organs, your endocrine glands. Hence, remember, your endocrine glands are vortexes. So you can bring something out or put something in. And so when we're talking about being possessed, you've opened your chakras in order to allow an entity to enter into you, to possess you.
Do you think, is that how we, when we look at all these monuments that we build, and they saying that we communicated with aliens, and the aliens built the pyramids and this and that, do you think that's how we got most of our advanced technology and advanced information, is through possession, just allowing the entities to do their thing, while we just, I guess, let the ego just sit back for a second, or take a back seat for a second?
Yeah. Say that last part again, God.
Well, in terms of all the great accomplishments throughout history, when we look at the monuments, we're totally baffled about how our people built some of the things, whether it's the pyramids or some of the temples. You think some of these things were built through possession, and that's why our human mind can't comprehend how it was built?
Yes, I do. No doubt about it. And plus, at the time we understood God within. Nowadays they have taken God externally of ourselves. And I had a Haitian sister when I was teaching at my store. This was years ago. We had our store, I think it was around 2011, 2010. And she came to sit in on a class, and she was from Haiti. Now, she didn't know that my parents from Haiti, I have Haitian blood, and so she was like, she heard me talking about God within, and she was like, that's the same stuff that my people be saying, and to her, that was forbidden, to think that God is within you, because she been Christianized and westernized to the point that she believed that God was something external of herself. And so when she heard me spitting the information, from a Haitian perspective, what I'm saying, or Arawak perspective, it almost made her flip. I have the tape, with her on it. It was the first tape that I did with metaphysically decoding world religions, and she was there for that first class, and the brothers had to take her to the side after the class and talk to her for like almost 2-3 hours, because she was so discombobulated, mentally, so yes, our ancestors would invoke ancestors, tap into the Akashic records to receive more information, to also have natural devices in which that was able to levitate and move, various tons of blocks, into position. There's this has actually been proven, and you can actually see this on Gaia. And they talked about the fact that there was certain words in which that could be chanted, in which that Sufis would do, in which that they was able to levitate boulders. And they suggest that this was some of the same science that we used in ancient Egypt. In order to make objects lighter, we would chant, or do mantras, or as, within the ancient Kemetic, they would say hakahus or hesis, words of power. So yes, definitely we use all types of powers, at our beck and call in order to build the greatest structures upon this planet, and that is in the Western and Eastern Hemisphere.
Is there some type of, they say, New York, we want to, New York is an island. How is it the Empire State? Everybody from the world comes to this little island that most of it is built on top of garbage, but somehow, some way, this little island controls most of the commerce in the world. Is there something under Haiti, crystals or something, that causes, that creates such a powerful energy over there? The earthquake, I don't know what type of terminology they use, but is there something that about Haiti that makes it the way it is?
Yeah, Haiti and some of the various other islands at one time was one landmass in which that was called Atlantis, in which that was in which that was generated by a gigantic crystal. So it was generated by by gigantic crystals, gigantic crystal or crystals. So that is still part of it there now. You're talking about Bermuda, you're talking about Hades, which of course on the other side of Haiti is Dominican Republic. You're talking about Trinidad, Tobago, you're talking about Jamaica, you're talking about Puerto Rico, Cuba. At one time, all of that were together. All of those islands was the island called Atlantis. This is the mainland Atlantis that we are on right now, from New York down to Florida. Okay, so, and New York was the capital of the mainland Atlantis, In fact, it was the first capital. All right. New York was the first capital. Yeah, New York was the first capital. The second capital was Philadelphia. The third capital is Washington, D.C. So the first capital was and still is New York City, the island. So yeah, that's what's going on. And who was originally there were the Montauk, the Mohawk, the Lenape, and the various other indigenous people, i.e., who we now refer to as Black people.
Right. So what happened is Haiti and that area, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Bermuda, Dominican Republic, all that was Atlantis.
Right.
What happened in Atlantis? There's so many myths
right.
about Atlantis. What exactly happened to Atlantis? Who was it? I mean, white folks did, black folks?
Nah. The European wasn't even on the planet when Atlantis was. So I mean,
Give me a time period. What time period
we talking about? About 50,000 years ago. And at that time, there was no Asians nor Europeans, Albions on the planet Earth at that time period. It was nothing but us, as it was dating back over 3 billion years ago to just 20,000 years ago, when the Bantu people / becomes known as the Bushmen, known as the Sand people. They go into Asia and become what is now called the Asians. The Europeans Albions come upon the planet around 6,600 to 8,000 years ago. They go into Asia from out the Caucasus Mountains, where we put them at. And there were various experiments done with them in the East and the West. I won't get into all of that, but they go into Asia once they get out the Caucasus Mountains and mix in with the Asians, in which to become what they are today, But the original Asians was the San or the Bushmen that was there in that region over 20,000 years ago, So, what we're looking at is for Atlantis, the Albion Europeans and the Asians, they weren't even on the planet at this time period when Atlantis existed. It was nothing but us, and we had high technology. We had generators utilizing crystals, and that's how we had our so-called electricity, and everything was ran via water, via crystals, and that's what we utilized. What happened is that volcanic activity took place, and from that volcanic activity, the land masses began to shift apart, all part of, what we now call the continental drift, which was still occurring with that island at that time. And because of the volcanic activity that took place, the tectonic plates begin to shift and move, in which that caused the various islands to be in the position that they are now eventually. But during that time, they was much more closer and together, is volcanic activities in which that took place. Many of it, some of it sunk beneath the ocean floor. We know that because even in the Bahamas, you have Bimini Island, which is which is between Cuba and the Bahamas, in which that you can see right now underwater, Brother Rich, pyramids, steps, in which that look like it leads up into some type of temples. They have structures, that look kind of Egyptian. All of these things is right under the water, right there, Bimini, islands, or what is known as the Bahamas / near Cuba. So we know that something happened in order to cause the shift of these type of monuments to have to go under the water.
Wow, I mean, the history of Atlantis. Is there any books we could get on Atlantis that that whole area, Haiti and Muhammad, is there any books you recommend about, the connection between Haiti and Atlanta?
Yeah, a good book is by David Childress, David Hatcher Childress. He talks about um, Atlantis. Also by Frank Joseph. He speaks about Atlantis, forgotten Atlantis. Of course, you can get the Ancient Children of Mu. Well, the Children of Mu by Churchward. Uh, um, he speaks about Atlantis, somewhat of Atlantis in there. And there's other books. I can't think of them currently.
What
I got
about
some.
the info Plato was dropping? I see somebody mentioned Plato.
Right.
I thought about that earlier.
Well, Plato, of course, you can get when the Albion try to utilize that, they try to say that it was in Greece, but we know that they weren't talking about the Grecian lands or the islands of Greece, so forth and so on. But that's what happens when Albion start trying to interpret our information into theirs. There's a perversion in which that always takes place. And so if you can get the information and utilize it properly, because we know that Plato, Aristotle, Euripides, Socrates, all of these individuals had to have been melanated because they was out of the land of Cretan, or what is known as Minoan, which was the name before it became Greece or Greek. They was not Greek or Greece, Grecians, or whatever you want to refer to them as. They were melanated people because at the time the Albion were not allowed into the ancient mystery school system. They was seen as savages, and it wasn't until, like Professor Walter Williams said, it wasn't until after 332 BC that the Albion came into the ancient mystery school, and he only received 3 degrees of a 9-degree system. So prior to that, we had the individual by the name of Aristotle, Pythagoras. Pythagoras spent the longest time there. He spent 24 years out of the 40-year system. Everyone else, such as Aristotle and everyone else, spent less than 20 years. They were not there as long as Pythagoras. And even now, it has come to some people's attention that the Greeks and their so-called coercion of history may not even have existed. This information that's coming to light now that they might not even have had existed, Brother Rich. So, this is just us being polite, with so-called said history. Just like we, been polite with Jesus and so forth and so on, didn't exist. However, we still got to fill in the blanks on how this thing manifested.
Right. Wow. Man, you got a library in your mind, brother. Like, you got all this information, man. It's always interesting building with you, my brother. So I definitely appreciate you coming on the show, and I definitely appreciate the family. Once again, I want to remind the family, make sure you come out December 16th if you're going to be in the New York area. If you're not going to be in the New York area, you can always get the live stream, but we having the God Frequency Conference, one of the best spiritual conferences that you will see, that you will be a part of. The brother Alim is going to drop it. He's dealing with this flow state that we keep hearing everybody talk about, with this Silicon Valley. Some people doing neurotropics, I think they call it, neurotropics, I forget the name. A lot of people want the limitless pill, Alim. They want to come into the flow state by taking the limitless pill. They can be invincible.
That's right.
But Alim shows you how you can do it without the limitless pill.
Right.
So you could be the Michael Jordan of whatever it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? The greatest of whatever it is that you do, brother, by tapping into that flow state and utilizing the powers of your subconscious mind, your God mind. So make sure you're there December 16th. But I want to, in terms of, this is real interesting when you start talking about Atlantis and the connection between Atlantis. Let's got one more question for you before we get up the phone. I know it's about one here on the East Coast. The Bermuda Triangle, that whole area,
right?
Shit just be disappearing. Planes fly down there and disappear. Some people said it was fake. What's the deal with everything? With things disappearing,
right?
Through that area down there.
Well, like I said, the Bermuda was part of those rest of those islands in which that was Atlantis. And what happened is that a large part of that crystal in which that crack that I was talking about earlier broke apart, and it still resides under the water in the Bermuda. And what happens is that oftentimes it was still powerful enough in order to knock out ship gauges, knock out airplane gauges. And what happens is that, even powerful enough in order to bring someone, either sink your ship or plane, or either actually will put you into another dimension. And this is nothing new, because we have what is called the Philadelphia experiment, in which that occurred in 1948. And allegedly, we had individuals that come from 1948 to appear in 1984. And people can read up on the Philadelphia experiment. Preston Nichols speaks about it. Peter Moon, they talk about these things, and it's very interesting, when they get to the Montauk on the Philadelphia experiment, and that Philadelphia experiment, like I said, was talking about a ship, a Navy ship that actually disappeared from 1948 and reappeared in 1984. And there was people who actually got off that ship, and allegedly, you can do the research on Preston Nichols, on him, and Al Bielek, Al Bielek talks about this, so this is just some information. And the same thing was happening with the Bermuda Triangle, and they have yet to still find enough debris. We know that it had to have been some type of other dimension, because they have yet to find enough debris from the airplanes and from the ships that has disappeared. It's not enough under the waters of the Bermuda, near the Bermuda Islands, in order to account for all the planes and ships that has been accounted for as far as being missing.
Some Stranger Things type shit.
Right.
That movie, you seen that show on Netflix?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
They're
going to the upside down world and shit like that.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, hey man, this is some real interesting stuff, man. This is why you have to learn about the science of reality, and how scientific this is, with the crystals and everything else, man, the metaphysical aspects of it as well, man. So I'm about to wrap it up, man. I want to thank you for coming on the show, the platform, man. We end up touching on a lot of things, man. But the situation with Haiti, Dr. Alim El-Bey, is something that I definitely wanted you to touch on, my brother, because I want our people, being people who have been indoctrinated in religion, Alim, so scared of when they hear the word voodoo. It's like, they stay the fuck away from that. They don't want nothing to do with voodoo, nothing to do with Haiti, Haitian, any of that.
Right.
So I just don't want our people to be afraid of Bobby Hemmett said, wherever they tell you the devil is, that's where you need to run to.
Exactly. That's right.
So, any last words you want to say as far as the Haitians and Haiti and the whole voodoo culture, my brother?
Well, there is a book called Voodoo and Quantum and the Quantum Physics. I can't remember the author right now, but it's definitely interesting to get that book. It goes into a lot of the information, some of the information that we talked about tonight. It shows you the science of the voodoo and the veves, or the sigils, in which that can be utilized for communication, as far as mental communication, tapping into the various aspects of yourself, of your collective consciousness, of your people. That's where these entities reside at. These are thought forms in which that are collective, within our people, and you get initiated into that particular rite in order to gain access to those entities or thought forms so that they can do your bidding, to do what you need to do, and that's basically what magic is producing thought forms, and then this is what they did with white Jesus. Motherfucker don't exist, but shit, 1 billion people believe it. You know what I'm saying? So now that motherfucker exists. Okay, and he's doing that damn bidding all over the planet. The Albion uses white Jesus, pale Jesus for his benefits. For his white supremacy. That's what white supremacy means, is that he's using white Jesus. Okay, so that's what's going on.
I said that was the last question, but I got another question. In terms of when we see the memes that we see spreading on Instagram, and people use memes to, I guess they say that they got something called meme magic, where when you want something to happen, you just throw a meme out there. Next thing you know, people believe the meme.
Right.
Is that like a modern day form of the voodoo doll? You got the voodoo dolls, and they wanted something they wanted to place harm on somebody, so they made a voodoo doll and stuck pins in it.
Right.
Is the meme like the modern day version of that?
Right, exactly. And within the Yoruba, within the Akan, within the Vudan, within the Palo or Congo rites, they all have what is called sigils, or which is pictures, pictographs, or mandalas, in which they utilize in order to tap into deeper levels of consciousness. And like I said, tap into those particular entities in which that your group collectively have manifested into existence, so that it can have some type of bidding. You can bid for it. That's what you do with your prayers. Your offerings. You bidding for that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Just like you had a goddamn draft. You trying to get a basketball player or a goddamn football player. What they do? They got to offer that nigga something. Nigga, we gonna give you $7 million if you come over here. Next thing you know, that nigga got on that damn hat and that goddamn t-shirt or that jersey. So you got to offer them. You got to offer that motherfucker something, and that's what it is. You got to offer the spirit something. And so sometimes they offer them blood. They offer them, from chickens, from cows, from ducks, from whatever they can get their damn hands on, goats. You know what I'm saying? It was an offering, and now, you do an offering within the Orient, such as in Japan or China, where they do their ancestors or shrines. They have fruits, apples, oranges, pears, bananas, whatever, what I'm saying? Whatever they have, that's what is there. Is an offering, Hell, in the Old Testament, you had to give an offering to damn God. You know what I'm saying? Hell, that's what fucked up Adam in Adam and Eve with their sons, Cain and Abel. Cain had the meat, had the fruits and vegetables. Abel had the meat. God said, "Yo, I like that meat smell, yo." So we know that God was no damn vegetarian.
Right. Hell yeah. Oh man. Oh man, Alim, man. Well, I want you to come out, man. Brother Alim, man. This dude is a walking library, man. This dude got like the library out of Alexandria in his mind, man. He asked his brother about anything. His brother can answer the question with some serious knowledge, not just bullshit is where he to the question, but I mean the brother, he's dropping it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you for being on the show, man. I will see you, my brother, December 16th, and I want to thank the family for tuning in. Hopefully, I will see y'all December 16th as well. I want to remind the family once again that Brother Alim does have a retreat. If you're interested in getting away for a couple of days, December 20th to 23rd, I got a flyer on the screen. He has a winter solstice retreat the family can go out there and spend some time and heal yourself out there, man. So you got a lot of options. So, you can't make excuses. You got a lot of options. So if you want to, raise your frequency these days, there's really no excuses left. You know what I'm saying? So, any last words before we get out of here, brother? You want to tell people anything about stuff you got coming up, website, anything like that, brother?
Yeah, definitely. You want more information, you go to Metaphysical Interreligious Confusion on my website, www.dralimel-bey.com. That's DRALIMELBEY.com. You can also check out online classes. Our online classes are there. If you go to Healing Wings Institute online classes, you can check them out. We have everything from Reiki, Qigong, Tai Chi, pranic healing, iridology, herbalism, so forth and so on. Also, we have our event March 22nd, 23rd, 24th is that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if I'm not mistaken on those dates. But it's going to be in March. We will have our United Washington Deductor Money event. We're going to be dealing with indigenous affairs, law, even aspects of healing. So, check us out for that. So yeah, thanks. Appreciate you, Brother Rich.
With that being said, we getting out of here. Brother Alim, I'm going to see you Sunday, my brother.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. All right, y'all check us out. I want to give thanks to Brother Bog. Appreciate you, God. You always supporting. I'm talking about, really appreciate that. Brother Talib, appreciate you. Thank you. Much respect, God.
And Brother
Armando, appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate those super chats. I'm glad that y'all got something from this interview for the night. If there's any questions, you can still ask right now.
Some people actually didn't get on the live, so if you could break down Kodak Black's name for your subscribers.
Kodak Black name is Dia's son. Dias, D-E-I-U-S, Dias, within Latin means basically, as we know, God. It's from Zeus in Latin. And then his last name is Octave, O-C-T-A-V-E, octave, as in musical range, notes, So we're talking about modes, schemes, patterns. So, all right, so his name is the God of music. All right, now that's some shit, So if he was able to positively put a spin upon the sciences and begin to start really putting that information out through his music, he could be a force to be reckoned with. All right. So hopefully we can give him some type of energy towards that. Brother is Haitian, and that is talking about Atlantis, the island of Atlantis is part of is Haiti. You know what I'm saying? And within the Haitian prophecy, they speak of one who comes from Haiti, in which that would be the Messiah. This is why the Albion tries his best to suppress the Haitian people. Is because they know that it's the Arawak, the indigenous Arawak people, in which that will help set this shit straight. All right. I have Haitian blood, and I've been told this many times in readings that we got to be these so-called black messiahs upon this planet. There's more than one. Best believe that. There's hundreds of us, and this is the thing in which that is going to really F up this strategy, as far as the Malcolm and the Martins and so forth and so on, how they was martyrs. They was ahead of their, they was at the head of their time. There is no head. You know what I'm saying? We here to make you God. We here to make you the goddess. We here to give you all the information that you need to get you to that next level. And you can speak with your higher self, so that you can even go further. That's the key. That's what's really going on. You know what I mean? Question?
Ask if there's any questions.
Any questions, y'all? If there's no questions, then I guess we're gonna have to call it a night.
Oh, somebody said,
Uh-oh.
do you need to be initiated to work with magic?
No, you don't have to be initiated to work with magic, but in order to be part of the Akan, which is the Ife, the Palo rites or Congo rites, as it's called, Palo Mayombe, and the other Palos, to be part of the Vodan, to be part of the Yoruba, so-called various other African religions, yes, you have to be initiated. You know, in fact, I recommend initiation, you know, because by initiation, like I said, you gain access to those entities, which is part of that group's collective memory. And you are able to tap into that group's collective memory, those thought forms. And those thought forms are able to be utilized on your behalf. You can utilize them how you feel or see fit, to protect, to make things manifest, so forth and so on.
This goes back to the Haitian vibration. How come with the Haitians' powerful knowledge, it hasn't lifted the Haitian people up from their plight that they find themselves in?
Well, I mean, once again, you're talking about the Haitian people who have whooped the ass of the United States, who have whooped the asses of France, who have whooped the asses of Britain. These are the three most powerful countries in the world, and they cannot and have not, you know, conquered or colonized Haiti. And this is why they caused the earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a people discombobulated and you have them just running all over the place,
Not unlike us.
and I mean, and as my wife said, not unlike us, because we're in the same predicament.
Ain't we?
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what can you do but, you know, try to gather your thoughts and get yourself back together, you know, and come back to your common sense. You know, that's what's going on. You know, but you being infiltrated with the Christian mentality. You've been infiltrated with McDonald's, capitalism, consumerism. You've been all of these things. This is what they're trying to work their way into. They still in the oil. They're still in the gold. You know, they still in all types of minerals. You know,
Poison in the water.
they poison the water,
Yeah.
the air,
The
the food. You know, GMO. I mean, god damn. We battling against this beast. This is silent weapons for quiet wars. That's what's going on right now. Silent weapons for quiet
And
wars.
now we talking about blocking out
You know
the
what I'm
sun
saying?
next
Right
year.
now, right. Billy Goat Gates
And Harvard
this
University.
at Harvard University. You know what I'm saying? Harvard. These fuckers talking about blocking out the sun. You know what I'm saying? It's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. You know what I'm saying? So hot. Go and listen to that damn Nelly song. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know, I don't get that St. Louis draw. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's getting hot in here. It's hot in here. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know, so this is what we're talking about, and it's getting so hot, you know, that they have to order, that they have to produce artificial weather conditions. If you don't want to believe that, then that's fine. But I know that these motherfuckers got patterns for this shit. Why would you need a pattern number if the shit ain't going on? You don't get no damn pattern number for some shit you ain't gonna use, not the cracker. So you can keep thinking this if you want to, but we know that he got weather control weaponry, weather modification weaponry, electromagnetic pulse beam weaponry. All right. So I'm just going to say that.
Said, what books do you recommend for the Haitian Atlantis connection?
Oh, the same books I made mention of earlier. Forgotten Atlantis by Frank Joseph. Atlantis by what's his name? David Hatcher Childress. All right. So, check those books out. Hmm?
You said
Any other questions? All right. If not, we're going to call it a night. And as we always say, continue now for days, weeks, months, and years to come. We're moving towards our most cherished goal of health, wealth, knowledge of ourselves, protection, security, every enterprise and endeavor and action in which that we wish to be involved is bringing increasing rewards. We have so much success, happiness, and joy and abundance in our life that we're able to help and share with those who are sincere along the way. We're moving closer towards the oneness of God and Goddess in the full release of our higher inner selves. We out, y'all. Peace.